So typically when you hear about behavior interactive, what comes to mind is DBD, or Dead by Daylight, one of the massive, longest withstanding asymmetric horror games out there. But did you know they're coming out with another game that's completely different from DBD called Meet Your Maker? Well, now you do, thanks to NextFest, which runs until February 13th, and you could check it out for yourself at least until the 13th. Again, some demos do last after the event, but I'm not sure on this one. But it is here, the page is up, and it will be released April 4th, 2023. So I want to check out this demo. This looks awesome. It looks like a sort of first-person tower defense-esque game, very sci-fi, sort of post-apocalyptic feeling. It's just very different in a way from Dead by Daylight. And on YouTube, if you're checking out at youtube.com/MindMineTV, feel free to add that into your comments. What are your thoughts on this? Do you feel confident in this game? Are there some things that maybe concern you? Feel free to share those thoughts in the comments. And of course, like, dislike, share, whatever you want to do, which greatly helps the video. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you very much for doing so. But enough of that. Let's jump into Meet Your Maker. And will we meet our maker? Well, I guess we'll find out, right? I mean, already I like the artwork that I'm seeing in this game.
Custodian. Awaken, Custodian. I have rebuilt you once again.
The voiceover sounds really good.
I need you. Come to me.
Meet your maker. Go to the Chimera. Yeah, I mean, so far, I've only just been in here. And lighting looks solid. Sound effects sound good. Yeah, I mean, it's intriguing.
Extinction envelops this planet. Can you feel its grip upon us? It has taken so much already. The age of humanity is nearing its end.
It sounds like we were rebuilt.
Tore through them, destroying the genetics of the infected. Civilizations built upon their shoulders died with them. But hope remains in the dead. The chance for a cure in those with uncorrupted genetics. The key to humanity's salvation. You must kill for it.
Ironically.
Die for it. Bring it to me, Custodian.
It reminds me of like a comic book.
And
or like a
I will
graphic novel.
save this world.
Very cool artwork.
This sanctuary is our fortress in a land of death. Activate it.
Activate the sanctuary. Pull the lever. In a weird way, with the vibe and stuff, it kind of reminds me of Doom. And like the gloved hands and stuff, and I don't know, something about it.
There in the bones of the dead.
Oh.
We need it. But other sanctuaries will kill us for it.
So I'm guessing that's like what we look like, kind of.
Special immunities. Prota, Metamorph, Krona, Prosamogi, Elpida.
Take on the wasteland. Okay, so it sounds like there's something that's going to wipe out the human race, and you are looking for the perfect genetics to help them continue on? Something like that? Conquer the wasteland. Custodian. The world is dying. You will build and raid outposts to collect the most coveted resource on this broken planet. Uncorrupted genetic material. Bring it to me, Custodian, and I will save us all. So, from what I'm understanding from what Daisy's saying in chat, is this game is kind of like a mobile game in the sense of like, I'm trying to think of some of them now, like Clash of Clans or something like that, right? You build up your base, other people build up theirs, and then whether you're online, offline, whatever, your base can get attacked or something like that, and you can attack their base. So it is, in a way, sort of PvP in the sense of like you're going up against what someone else has built. All for trying to get this uncorrupted genetic material. So it's kind of a PvP game in a way, but also PvE because you're going up against the defenses of the other player at their base. You're entering an outpost made by another player. Follow the enemy harvester if you get lost, as it always leads to the gen mat. I'm curious on how they're going to keep people playing. I really am. You know, what is the carrot at the end of the stick, basically? Like, okay, you're getting genetic material, and it's a cyclical thing where someone else is also getting it, you're getting it, you know, you're going against the challenge, of course, right, of trying to defeat these bases while also building up the strongest base yourself. But again, what is the point? I'll be really intrigued to see what they can do to make it interesting. Do you unlock cosmetics for your character? Do you unlock new weapons for your character? What is the point besides just kind of pushing the fact that, hey, you got genetic material? Because ideally, you're never going to find a cure, because that goes against the game, right? Because otherwise you don't have a story. You're like, hey, we got all the genetic material. Okay, game over for everyone playing. You know, so there's got to be some sort of carrot at the end of the stick, so I'll be intrigued. Wow, this weapon looks badass. Oh, we got a sword! Yes! Raid with force. There are 3 types of weapons: ranged, melee, and something else. Ammunition is vital. Collect your spent ammo to recover it. You can recover ammo. No shit. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, all right. I'm getting this. So, your left click is your weapon, which you can get ammo back with. That's really intriguing. Your right click is your melee weapon, but there is a cooldown on it. You can't just like quickly spam it. There is a jump, and you do kind of float, like in Doom. There doesn't seem to be a crouch, but there is a grappling hook, like Ravenbound. The gen mat you want is transported by a harvester. Follow the harvester from the extractor to the shipping station. You'll find... Okay. That's cool. All right. What's up, little buddy? You are just going. You just zooming, aren't you? Second wave traps and guards might appear after the gen mat has been stolen. Oh, okay. So you have to get to the gen mat. If it's stolen, a second wave of guards and traps. So if you've already gone through guards and traps once, you might have to go through more. Fair. Escape the outpost by reaching the surrounding desert or returning to the starting point. Raid this outpost filled with traps and guards. Any damage can kill you, so stay alert. Destroy traps and guards or evade them, which I can see with the grappling hook or just your floaty jump. Destroying traps and guards will get you valuable resources. Okay. Oh, so maybe it's like a cycle. You have to destroy enemies or attack enemies to get the resources you need to build up your base, maybe? That would be interesting. Destroying traps. Use your weapons to destroy traps. This permanently disables them. Oh, permanently. That's good, too. There's no, like, random cooldown, then they start back up. They'll drop valuable resource. If you use your ranged weapon, collect your spent ammo afterwards. You will find synthite as you raid. It's used to build outposts. Yep, okay. So you need to attack in order to build. That's the gist of it. Attack in order to build. So that's what keeps the cycle going. Because if you get raided, you're going to need to build stuff, which means you got to raid someone else to get the materials to... You mother... True. Oop, okay, that's got drop off. Got him! In like the kneecap, that works. That's his Achilles heel, his kneecap. I used to be an Avenger like you until I took an arrow to the knee. You will find parts as you raid. They're used to upgrade your equipment and craft new hardware. Okay. So for your base and for equipment and hardware. Bada bing, bada boom. Oh, you are fugly. I hope your mother loves you. Second wave traps. Oh, balls. All right, no going through that. Boy, you better find some religion. You better recognize. The traps, well, at least these traps are hella easy to break, but maybe that's not always the case. Ooh, I can kill this thing too. I don't know if it actually benefits me, but sorry, little dude. Here we can see our name on the top right, level, which we're currently level 1, how much experience until the next level. We can actually invite friends. So this is a co-op experience as well. That I did not realize. Looks like we have monetary units and things like that up on the top left. Show news, so we can see in-game news stuff. Great. Not sure what the icons are on the top, but I'm going to assume it has to do with these people. Weapons, traps, suit, and stuff like that. So it seems like there are bonuses like dailies that you can get just for playing. So that's going to be another carrot at the end of the stick for people to keep coming back to play. Oh, I got to do my dailies. So this is going to be very much a live service game.
Right here.
Weapons Advisor. Cronus compatible with one type of gen mat that you'll find in the Wasteland. Cronus supplies you with weapons to raid outposts. Weapons can be developed and upgraded with cells and parts. Each weapon can be upgraded to improve their combat abilities. With enough gen mat, Krona will level up and increase the duration of her boost, a temporary bonus that will help you. Cells are used to activate Krona's boost. You know, I wonder if behavior was like, you know what? Rust is super popular. People love the base building and raiding. Can we do something like that? And so far, it looks like they've done it. Fuck. Now, those enemies seem to be range. So, as long as I can keep my distance and keep moving around them, I should be okay. Okay, no. Don't see any traps here. Now, there are traps that are supposed to look like normal sort of brick blocks, but they're not. So we got to be careful with that. They kind of sound like sand people. It's true. All right, so we can destroy traps with our sword, but we can still get hit too. Trying to get my ammo over here. There we go. That looks weird. I'm not sure what's going on there. Do not like. Oh, nice. Oh, they're pissed. Well, I have the gen mat, and I have to figure out how the hell to get back out. Oh, it's here. Okay, bye. Ah! Nice. So really, you could totally blow up everything, or you can just avoid everything and be like, nope, I'm done. You can also, like, give props to people that you raid, which is actually kind of cool. Like, yeah, that base was actually ingenious, brutal, fun, artistic. Each advisor has a unique type of gen mat for you to collect. Doing this levels them up and also leads to the Chimera leveling up. You'll earn rewards as you progress. So as these people level up, the Chimera levels up. Yeah, it looks like you get a jetpack eventually, because it does say descend and ascend, which I'm intrigued on. I'm looking around for any traps out here, or anything that's been unbuilt. Anything that just needs more support and doesn't have it. Because, yeah, you don't want to just go through the front door. Now, these things I think will kill us. So if I can get around it, that would be great. Oh! Nice. All right. Grappling hook for the frickin' win on that. You're fucking kidding me. Yep, so this is why you don't go through the front door. You look around. No, I didn't get trolled. The person I raided got trolled. I went to the back of their base. They had a hole. I used my grappling hook to get in, and their gen map was right there. So I just walked up to it, took it, and pulled myself out, and I was good to go. You know, sometimes it just works out like that. Meet Your Maker supports co-op play in both building and raiding. Oh, and in building. So you could actually have a team base. Interesting. I'm intrigued. When a raid goes well, it feels good. When crazy weird stuff happens like that, it's just fun. Yeah, it looks like we're going to have to go through the front because there's nothing back there. We destroyed one thing, but that was it. Oh, there's the gen mat right there. We can see it. So it's on this side, but we can't get to it from here. This is all blocked off. Yeah, so I think they just like built all this out, but they're still maybe trying to figure out what to do with it. Yeah, see, this was a good placement for it. It was a tough angle. Yeah, you gotta look left, right, up, down. Oh, Jesus Christ. Fuck. Thing scared the ever-loving shit out of me. Yep, there we go. That was smart. They put some traps right there to like appear as the second phase. There we go. And escaped. Not bad. All right. Tight angles are going to be your friend for base building. I can already tell. Because the two impalers we got hit by were at a very difficult angle that you're not naturally going to just like kind of check around for and aren't the easiest to check around for. So masking is going to be a big thing. Congratulations, you have enough synthite to claim a burial site. On it, you will build a deadly outpost that kills other players. So now let's check out the building aspect of Meet Your Maker. Players will raid your outpost, place traps and mods, and mob them to kill them. Oh, okay, so you can mob the traps. All traps can be modified to be more deadly. Add a mod to this bolt shot trap. Bro, you are creeping me out. You really are. Are you asthmatic? Do you need some help, bud? So, bolt shot. Place a trap, open tab supplies, and place a trap on the highlighted surface. Okay, so bolt shot fires a volley of bolts, triggers once. F to confirm. No other traps because this being the tutorial. You can customize your trap with mods. Try adding a mod to change how the trap works. I think mods are smart. Like, it's not just about the fact that you put an impaler or bolt mod or anything, or bolt trap, but that you can mod it and change it up to make it very interesting. It definitely makes the building more dynamic. Double down. The trap can be triggered a second time. You can gain valuable insight into how a trap performs by testing your outpost. Test your outpost to try out your trap. And you can test stuff. That's so clever. I love that. You do not have enough gen mat left to activate your outpost. So you have to have enough gen mat to activate it in the first place as well. You can see your rating. You can see your build capacity. You can see the size of it small. There's also medium and large. On here too, gen mat stats. You can see activation criteria. You have a harvester path, you have an activation slot, but we need gen mat available and minimum defenses before we can make this active for other people to raid it. Guards are active defenses who can patrol an area. Bring in a guard to defend your outpost. So we have an enforcer, a bolt shooting subclone that specializes in mid-range combat. We've seen pretty much nothing but these, except for in the last base we also saw hornets, which are flying creatures. Set a patrol path for your guard so it covers more ground. Hold F on the guard to record it. You can actually tell it where to go. It's not like predisposition into one way or another. Like, you tell it where to go. So, like, for instance, we could say, oh, I want you to go... Let's see here. Hold F on guard. Oh, you control the guard. So you technically play as the guard to set its path. It's not even the fact that you're, like, dragging your mouse and then letting go to say, hey, this is the path. You're literally walking it. Adding augments to guards. All guards can be augmented to be more deadly. Add an augment to this enforcer guard. So you can add mods to your traps and augments to your guards. So in this case, we have optical implant. Increases the range of the enforcer's vision. So this is another reason to play, because ideally you're going to want to grind to get a very specific mod. Check how effective your guard is when a raider invades. Test your outpost. This is really cool. I could spend so much time just in the building and like planning where the guards go and stuff. To extract gen mat, you have to have a clear path between the shipping station and extractor. Block the harvester's path to see how it reacts. We need to get gen mat from this outpost to our sanctuary. For that to happen, a clear path is needed between the shipping station and the extractor. Add a block on the marker. So this is to teach us that basically we can't be blocking the harvester. If there is absolutely no path, there are going to be issues. The harvester automatically adjusts to find a new path to the gen mat extractor. Will always choose the shortest path available. Now remove a block to see what happens when the harvester can't reach the gen mat extractor. I like this concept too of like they're forcing you to have a path. You can't just wall everything up and call it a day. Because that's not fair to the players who have to raid. This time the harvester can't find an alternate path. Its broken path is highlighted in red, meaning it needs your attention. Fix the path so the harvester can get back to work. But this is good though too. Because what this is showing you as the builder is because the harvester takes the path of least resistance, or the shortest path possible, if we just had this path here open to it, that's too short, right? It's great for the harvester, bad for us when it comes to defense. Because ideally, we want our raiders to work toward getting that gen mat. Like, we want them to work for it. So we want to send them as far out as possible and then to come back to the gen mat. We want to send them up and down and left and right as best as possible without screwing up the harvester. So, like, if we had this all blocked off and said, okay, yeah, go for it, this is perfect, it's too short. There's not enough you can do to stop a enemy, potentially, a raider, right? But by doing this, we can see, oh, okay, well, if they take the shortest path, This is a pretty long, short path, so this is great, right? If you get what I'm saying. The path to the extractor and shipping station is fixed, and the harvester will ship GenMat back to your sanctuary. The harvester always takes the shortest path to the GenMat. It'll find its path automatically. So this is the thing too, you want to harvest. Like, it's not just like a mechanic for raiders, it's actually a mechanic for you because you also need the GenMat. So not only are you raiding to get the GenMat, you're also harvesting it, but you have to protect that harvester. So it's all interlinked and comes back to benefit you, which is really cool. Now let's look at terrain. Outposts are built on top of indestructible bedrock. You can build whatever you want on them within the outpost capacity. Blocks, guards, and traps affect the capacity. Each outpost requires a minimum number of traps and guards. Place traps along the harvester's path to reach the minimum. To activate your outpost, it must have a valid harvester path and meet the minimum requirements. Yeah, this is definitely a game that keeps you playing, that keeps you working, because if you get tired of constantly raiding, you can switch it up and go into building and defending. You can go up into upgrading. You can go through all the different advisors and be like, okay, what do I want to work on here? What do I want to work on here? There's quite a bit to do, which is actually really nice to see. And it's really nice just to be like, hey, you know, it's one of those nights of just raiding. It's one of those nights of just building. Once you get to that point, you can add in friends. Hey, you know, you want to jump in? Cool. Let's get a 3-man group going and, you know, let's raid some. So they've taken an element that really has worked for other games like Rust and really have done something very unique and interesting with it. So I'm really a big fan of this so far. I'm liking the aesthetic, the very sort of Mad Max, post-apocalyptic, sci-fi sort of vibe. I'm really digging the traps, how you can modify them, the guards, and how you can record their pathing, as well as augment them. Like, there's some really clever, cool stuff here. And when you get a GenMat, it feels rewarding. And when you're in some of those bases, you feel paranoid. And that's the way you should feel. You know, you're checking every corner. Is there a trap here? Is there a trap here? Is there an enemy there? Is there an enemy there? Like, you're looking everywhere. And that's like so much fun. Unless you have a panic attack, then, maybe not as fun. But like overall though, it gets you actively like thinking and strategizing and moving carefully. Like, you can't just charge through because you're going to get punished for it. So, and I do like the fact that you can say, I want to retry that. I want to retry that. Now that I'm understanding the puzzle, now that I'm understanding the flow of the base, I want to retry that again. I think that's very cool. So I do think Behavior Interactive actually has something really cool going on here. Now, the big thing is, because it is a live service, can it withstand time? That is the big thing. We are seeing so many live service games die off right now. So many, especially from Square Enix, actually, have been shut down just within the past few months. So can this be a game that survives? I think there's a potential for sure. And I hope it does, but we'll see. We won't know until a real big full release. And also, how buggy would the game be on release? Right now, it's feeling very good. I'm not seeing any issues. But this is literally just a slice of the full pie. This build is meant to be good. It's meant to look great. It's meant to be presented to us. It's meant to be presented to other investors. It's meant to look and feel fantastic because, again, it's a smaller portion of a much larger whole. How will that larger whole be once we get to it? Like, what is the longer goal of this game? Besides just the grind for resource, because eventually what's going to happen is people are going to go, I'm grinded out. Which is fine. Like, for a live service game, take a break. Play other games, come back. That's okay, right? But, you got to make sure that it's enticing enough and exciting enough where you don't feel like it's a job. Once a game starts feeling like a job, it's not a game, So that's a big thing. But I think, too, because you're leaving the base building up to the player, each raid is going to be unique. Now, I'm sure there are going to be some meta builds. You're going to see the YouTube videos of like, this is how you build the proper base and blah, 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 blah. So you're going to see a lot of copy and paste and rinse and repeat. But overall, hopefully there'll be enough creativity or room for creativity where people want to go, I want to do something completely different. And I think that's what's going to be fun every single time, because you never know what you're going to get yourself into. You also don't know to what extent what traps or what guards and what mods and augments people are going to use. So even if you got a sense of the design, you just don't know what you're going to come across, which I think is very cool. And so I definitely appreciate that. So with this, I highly recommend checking out the demo if you haven't. If it remains past NextFest, awesome. Definitely check it out if you can. Or make sure to follow Behavior Interactive and also the game on Steam, because it does have its own page. So that way you get notified about updates to other potential betas and test days and stuff like that, as well as the official release, which supposedly is supposed to be in April. But with that, we are going to call it for the demo today for Meet Your Maker. Thank you for joining me here on Twitch at twitch.tv/MindMineTV. Feel free to also subscribe for free on YouTube at youtube.com/MindMineTV, where you can get a chance to see all the different demos we've played so far over the past several days. On YouTube, it'll have its own playlist, which will be Steam NextFest 2023. Check out the demos there. And if you like one, I encourage you to make sure to follow and add it to your wish list on Steam. But until then, I will see you in the next video.